Hi everyone, welcome to today's stream. We have a slightly different layout today as I wanted to get Claire and I both on the screen as she's not with me here in the office this afternoon. So, welcome to today's stream and the final roundup for the Berlin Lifter Film Festival. I can't believe it has been a month already. What time does the festival close tonight, Claire?
So the festival is closing tonight at 10 p.m. GMT. So you've still got 9 hours left to keep watching those films. And for those of you who haven't voted, get your votes in.
Yeah.
The month has flown, hasn't it?
It's gone so quickly, and it's been really fun meeting some of the filmmakers and the festival hub and the focus groups there, and it's been super interesting to see all of that feedback come back in and be given to each other. So thank you so much for the filmmakers that have taken part in that.
Absolutely. I did mention this to the filmmakers who joined us in the Google Meet as well. Nobody's going to be kicked out of that festival hub, so there's still all the time ahead to keep connecting with people. There's no rush on exchanging feedback for those that participated in the focus groups. You're with us forever now on there.
So on that note, keep talking to the filmmakers that you've started making relationships with over this whole month.
Absolutely.
And build up, and hopefully next year we'll be seeing a film that you've collaborated on in the festival. How cool would that be? That would be so cool. Cool. All right, Claire, before we get on to the final roundup, why don't you remind everyone about the winners and the prizes?
So the winning films from Manchester this year will be screening with us live next year, because we will be back to live screening.
Manchester? You mean Berlin, right?
Oh, sorry, I've got Manchester on the brain because our Manchester Festival kicked off this morning. Berlin, sorry. So we'll be taking the winning films with us to Germany next year.
We also have then the Audience Choice Award. So that is a couple of filmmakers, sometimes 3, sometimes 4 filmmakers that will join us here on the channel. And we will do a director's commentary with the filmmakers whilst their films are screening, muted in the background. And if you haven't seen any of them, we have plenty on our channel from last year's festivals and the London Lifter Film Festival that took place in December. That's the latest video on that. And again, it's such a joy just finding out about the films and how the filmmakers came to that point and how they managed to make their films. So do check those
Definitely.
out. And then also there are the Season Award nominations. So Berlin is the first festival of the circuit, and it is usually the one that kicks off the Season Awards with a banger as well. So we look forward to seeing which films will be nominated in that category as well. And thank you to everyone who's joining us here today. We can see there's quite a few of you watching. Do say hello in the chat room. I have got my eye on that. So if you have any questions or have any thoughts that you'd like to share, I'm more than happy to read those out loud and get the conversation going. So feel free to post away.
Fantastic.
All right. Should we get the presentation going?
Let's take a look at the programmes.
All right, just give me a second. There's a few little buttons I need to click now.
And as always, we will start with the judges select shorts.
All right, there we go.
Okay. So this has been a really exciting program. You have reached 1,303 playthroughs of shorts on this page. So that's been fantastic to see. We've got 160 of you tuning in, and we have, as of 11 a.m. this morning, Iridescent top of the polls on 40 votes, Up to Heaven on 24, and the Snowmace on 12. So starting with Iridescent here, which has led the way the whole festival, hasn't it, Nat?
Absolutely, it really has. And Catherine has been joining us as well. She was in the focus group, wasn't she, Claire?
Yep, absolutely. Lots of good conversation there around the films, and I look forward to seeing the feedback on the focus groups progressing. But yeah, here we go. Iridescent, directed by Catherine Carmichael. From a short live action drama. Today is Elise's 21st birthday. Elise suffers from Tourette's syndrome. She has done since she was 13 years old. Elise's tics don't involve her shouting or swearing. Brought up in a loving, slightly kooky family with a natural acceptance of all, Elise thrives within her home. But school life has not been kind. Picked on for being different and often the popular girls that have given her the hardest time.
Do let us know if you've seen this film and your thoughts in the chat room, and we will make sure that Catherine gets those.
Absolutely. And then currently second in the charts then is Earth to Heaven, directed by Ali Azari from the US. This is a music video. This music is talking about the sorrow of losing. We tried to make this music video happen to describe the sorrow. This video art is the story of a mother who is captivated by her lost son's memory and living with him in her imagination and doesn't want to face reality. At the end, she realizes so many other mothers are sharing the same grief, pain, and nightmares. And nice to see a music video there. And then The Snowmace, directed by Sam Cadman from the UK. 10-year-old Adam is an isolated boy tormented by the school bully until the arrival of a new girl and the discovery of an old key changes everything. So there we go. That is the that is the Judges Select Shorts.
Amazing. So then moving on to the Judges Select features, we've had 63 viewers from 12 countries on 422 playthroughs, which is just amazing figures. So thank you to everyone who has been watching. We have got a few films here that have sustained in pole position throughout the whole month. So Coming Up Short is in the lead on 9 votes. Then we've got Posting on 8 votes, King of Ravens on 4 votes, and Thirsty and Drowning in America on 4 votes. So as Claire mentioned there, these are all of the votes that have come in as of 11 a.m. GMT today, the 1st of March. So Coming Up Short is directed by Queen Muhammad Ali and Hakeem Khalik from the USA. Coming Up Short is a true story about Shorty, a member of the Lynch Mob, one of the most controversial platinum and gold rap recording groups of all time, led by Ice Cube. So this is a documentary that is 60 minutes long. Posting, directed by Lena Schmeck, is from Germany. Isa, 25, is an influencer. Fitness, lifestyle, natural nutrition, and most of all, bare skin. 1.5 million followers on Instagram. Too bad that she gets busted with illegal substances for athletes, robbing her of authenticity and dramatic decline in her career. She loses her followers, her job, money, her apartment. Her last refuge is her sister Rika's Airbnb room. Cool. So this is a student film. It's a live action film and it is an hour and a half long, so do check those out. King of Ravens here, directed by Peter Lewandowski from Germany. Darko, a young survival artist, lives illegally in Germany. He tries to keep himself and his sick mother afloat in an urban jungle until he is at risk of losing himself in an armour fur with a mysterious Aline. What at first seems to suit him very well soon becomes a problem. He begins to fall in love with her. Alina seems to enjoy the situation, but leaves it open for a long time whether she shares his feelings. The fragile dream shatters when the unequal relationship with the past catches up with them. Suddenly, Darko's whole existence, as well as the hope for a better life, is at stake. So this is another live action narrative, 105 minutes long, and I think this poster is awesome. Well done to the creators behind that. And we've spoken about this before, Claire, haven't we? The importance of posters and getting the tone and the feeling. This is one of the main things that sale agents go off of and ask for at the beginning as you start your preparation, talking to them.
And as you say, Nat, that one just looks so professional.
Doesn't it? It's so great. So great. And then moving on to the next film, we've got Thirsty and Drowning in America, directed by Adrian Parr and Sean Hughes. So this is a film from the USA. Drought, flooding, and contamination. Native Americans have it all. They may have been beaten, bullied, victimized, and killed, but they still are fighting. As the seas rise, the ice melts, and the resources extract pollutes their land and waterways, the stakes are getting higher. Today, they are on the front line of environmental activism. From the water protects Standing Rock, the climate refugees of Isles de Charles, Louisiana, and Shifmarif, Alaska, this film gives voices to the untold stories of the water changes Native American communities are facing, featuring heart-tugging conversations with community members. And that's a documentary that's 50 minutes long. So nice. Moving on to the next set, Claire, do you want to take Trendsetter Shorts?
There we go then. So the Trendsetter Shorts has 143 of you watching from 24 countries. Also reached a really impressive figure of 1,017 playthroughs.
Wow.
But what I think is even more impressive is that Jump is on 71 votes.
Whoa.
That is an absolute record for us at Liftoff, I think, for any of our audience voting. But then followed by Remember on 16 and Wet Skin on 7.
So let's take a look at Jump.
Let's take a look. Here we go. Those of you who've been watching these streams will have seen this now. This is directed by Natalie Correa. Alfred, a middle-aged party clown, leads a somewhat artistic life in New York City, but it's not quite what he imagined in his youth. As he gets older, Alfred begins to question whether he's failed to achieve his dreams and compares himself to a former college friend who seems to have it all. There we go.
Wow.
So a lot of people have obviously been watching this. If you haven't and you're on this program, take a look and see what you think, because it's very, very popular.
Great.
And then Remember, directed by Nino Vincenzo Valpiani from Germany. A Berlin locksmith's heavily burdened life takes a sudden turn when he is struck by an electric shock. Obtaining a superpower that allows him to open doors with nothing more than a slight touch, he starts to question his whole existence as a craftsman. Though not being able to cope with it at first, a young friend encourages him to look at the newly won power from a child's perspective. So there we go, a 20-minute short from Germany. And then Wet Skin, a music video from Germany this time, directed by Alexandra Hotz. A tired woman drives through a remote street at night until suddenly a bright ray of light appears. An atmospheric, animated music video which deals in an abstract way with the topic of longing.
Nice. Very nice. Cool. So then moving on to trendsetter features, we've had 81 viewers from 14 countries on 783 playthroughs. This is amazing because obviously hosting the festivals in a cinema space, we can never get that many people into a screening. So it's great to see that the online platform is really bringing those viewers and that audience to the
Definitely.
films. So Companion is on 47 votes, which is an amazing figure for a feature film. A Bar on 30 votes, and All Hail the Popcorn King on 11 votes. So Companion, directed by John Barbon from the USA. Across a post-apocalyptic landscape haunted by malicious spirits known as companions, a guilt-stricken woman must choose to abandon her husband or die with him. So this is a feature live action narrative along the horror theme, and it's 93 minutes long. Again, that poster is super creepy. Then A Bar, directed by Gül Karaslan and Sadiq Kerim from Turkey. Nomadism is the oldest psycho-economic activity in the world, based on the relationship between manpower, animal, and nature. Eastern and southern Anatolia regions in Turkey, the animal life sustaining communities and tribes to continue the nomadic lifestyle without being bound to the soil. Again, another feature documentary there. All Hail the Popcorn King, directed by Hansi Oppenheimer from the USA. Joe R. Lansdale documentary All Hail the Popcorn King award-winning writer Joe Lansdale shares stories from his life and career in the Nacogdoches, I do apologise, Texas, while a wild range of artists and fans, including the Joe Hill, Mick Garrett, Brian Keane, Bruce Campbell, Don Carson, and more, share what they love the most about the man and his work. So this is a documentary and a biography, 55 minutes long. Loving the colours on the poster there with the yellow and the reds and the greens. That really stands out. Awesome. Then finally, Claire, do you want to take New Voices Shorts?
New Voice Shorts, which has been our busiest programme over the final week of the festival, interestingly. As you can see, almost hitting 2,000 playthroughs, which is just fantastic. Well, we love indie film consumption, don't we, Nat?
We do.
Tuning in from 26 countries, so that's also really cool. And again, a staggering figure. Something is in the water with this Berlin festival. Seizure is on 65 votes.
Wow.
And Isolation on 51. Steve A. Jim on 46. So some fiercely supported films here, which is always really cool to see. So starting with Seizure, directed by Ramon Buerki from the USA. After the unpleasant event of a seizure during a night out, right in the presence of his crush and other school companions, Dave is quite concerned about how other schoolmates might react to what happened, as he insecurely attempts to get back to his normal daily life. Throughout his recovery, he will eventually discover the unexpected roles in the lives of those he learns to truly call his friends. So that's really nice. Then Isolation, a Canadian film directed by Justin McGregor. Set in a world running parallel to our own pandemic-gripped reality, Isolation dips into the life of John Alexander Johnson, a young man sequestered in his high-rise apartment, waiting in tandem with a paused outside world swept up in illness. Even locked doors in the sky can be knocked upon, however, and when his past comes knocking, his isolation is rocked. Oof. Again, quite a cool but simple poster there, Nat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. And then finally, Steve A. Jim, directed by Irene Della Casa. Steve A. Jim is a short fictional story about two men, Jimmy, and a programmer, Steve, a musician, that cross their paths one night, unified by the paranoia of the external world, because Steve comes back home with a big amount of money, finally earned to produce his EP. And there we have it.
Great log line there as well. So that is it. We will just move back over so you can see us. Give us 1 second.
As we said, though, that was as of 11 a.m. You've still got 9 hours, so things could still change. But we just want to say thank you to everyone who's been following the festival, because it has been fantastic. The viewership figures have been immense. It's been a pleasure to see.
They have. And obviously we will be updating everyone with the films that make it through to the network round, and then obviously the winners and the audience choice. So Berlin isn't quite finished yet. There's a week or two to go. So do stay engaged with the festival. And Claire, there's actually a few questions here in the chat room which are directly for you.
Okay.
So I'll announce those now. When are you going to announce those who reached the finals for the lift of sessions?
So for the February sessions, those emails actually were sent out on Friday. So check your inboxes, check spam.
Yeah, definitely check spam.
And for first-time filmmaker sessions, that finishes tonight at 10 p.m. So tomorrow we'll be doing all of the tallies of the finalists, and those will be sent off to our 5 judges, who always return their verdict normally by Thursday evening. So you will also get your email on Friday.
Amazing. And you predicted the next question, which was about the first time filmmaker showcase, so thank you for answering that as well, Claire. If anyone does have any more questions, do let us know and we will do our best to get back to you. And thank you to everyone who has been engaging in the festival and watching us here today. We will be in touch, and we will be back here on Friday with the first roundup for the Manchester Lifter Film Festival. So if you are taking part in that, do join us here, and we'll be doing a similar thing for that festival.
Absolutely. Free filmmaker links have just been sent to everyone who's screening, so do use that free link so that you can get watching your fellow filmmakers' work.
How exciting. And we will be doing the full rundown of Manchester on Friday. So we will see you then. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye-bye.